Oh my gosh! And Reinhold gets shot.
Yes, yes,
Ugh.
yes, yes, yes.
All right,
That's
hey,
right.
so how about this? Let's take a quick break. I'm shocked. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more Beverly Hills Cop franchise. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I just want to say, Axel Foley is a much better name than Axel Cobretti,
Oh,
which
100%.
is what Stallone changed the name of the character to when he was got on board this. Now, I want to say, before we talk about Stallone, when
Yeah,
they decided to move on from Stallone because his rewrites were too expensive,
right,
the writers and everyone said that he was all class. Because I guess he
right,
could have been like, pay me. Because they already paid Mickey Rourke $400,000
right.
to not take any other work. So
Pay or play contracts.
they're 400,000 in, but I guess Stallone was really cool about everything. Because
Right.
you can't have a career like Stallone and be dumb. So
No.
he knew the drill. He got out of there. But
Yeah.
this movie, like, what would the plot have been? Like a Italian American from the East Coast comes over and then he sees just like a bunch of like himbos and bimbos, and
This
he's
is the thing. This is the thing, and this is exactly why Beverly Hills Cop is so iconic and such a touchstone. Because Beverly Hills Cop, without Eddie Murphy, is Cobra.
yeah, yeah,
Okay? Because Cobra is who Cobretti ended up being. He
yeah.
took what he was going to use in Beverly Hills Cop and he put it in Cobra. And Cobra's not a good Stallone movie.
No, it's
like,
not.
like it's one of those that you watch, and he's a cop, and he gets the job done regardless of his irritating yet loud yet by the book street captain, But it's just a lot of murder and
Yeah,
stunt work. So like you said in the beginning of the pod, they probably did keep that chase from Stallone, and I appreciate it because it does do some character work for Axel,
cars are
uh,
destroyed.
destroyed,
What a practical action scene.
destroyed, destroyed, destroyed. There is a lot of property damage, a lot, no CGI, and nothing even really blows up. It's just I am running over sedans in a truck for 10 minutes. Let's go, action.
That's Stallone movie, and they need another 4 million. No one was gonna give it out, and they already talked to Murphy, so they immediately went to Eddie Murphy, and he took it. You know what's kind of interesting? Martin Brest went to Detroit, and he got the footage in the beginning of the film. He was in a van, and they had blinds, and then he would pull the blinds open and film people when they weren't looking, and then he would walk up to them and ask if they could sign papers
This
to be
dude
used in
really,
the movie.
that's awesome.
He Martin Brest is an interesting character, man. I mean, he made Geely, but
Oh,
he won
wow. That was
Pacino an
bad.
Oscar though. Like, well, over over Malcolm X. But that just shows the power of Martin Brest, man. Like
This is
yeah,
this is this is why I have to fight with the Oscars every year, man, because Denzel became Malcolm X in a way I've never seen an actor become somebody
yeah.
before.
And then
You
hooah.
you put videos of Malcolm X speaking next to videos of Denzel doing Malcolm X speeches in that movie, and it's Control C, Control V. It's terrifying how much he just nailed that. And I
Absolutely.
love Pacino. We all love Pacino. Ain't nobody saying Pacino's not a good actor, but that was not Pacino's best role. You want to give Pacino an Oscar? What's the comedy where he was trying to get money for his boyfriend's
Oh, Dog Day
transsexual?
Afternoon.
That movie's brilliant.
Yes, brilliant.
That movie's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
The one where you're out of order, we're all out of order. Why not an Oscar for that?
Devil's Advocate.
No. Devil's Advocate is.
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying, like, he should have won an Oscar for it.
Oh, exactly. But anyway, just
But then we have Martin Brest. I mean, he also did Midnight Run. I mean, come on.
solid movie.
So
Yeah, nobody's saying Brest's a
yeah,
bad director.
I just
It's
think
just
he knows
he
how to
didn't have
get performances, man. Do you think that like Midnight
100.
Run features probably one of the best double plays, double team pairings
Mm-hmm.
of like he just let them do their thing pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Son of a
Mm-hmm.
woman. lets him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills
Mm-hmm.
Cop, he trusts Murphy enough to let him do his thing. He should have
Yeah.
not trusted anybody on Geely. And
No,
then Meet
no.
Joe Black, that movie just made money because of the Phantom Menace trailer.
And it was incredibly depressing.
Yeah. People love that movie.
That movie stole my money because I was expecting, a drama, but I wasn't expecting to just, I was going to walk into just Manhattan traffic after that movie, man. That movie was just bleak, brother.
Did you eat
And
peanut
I'm
butter?
into bleak stuff. Look, I slathered it on myself. I rolled around the tub. And then, I just sat looking at the spout of the shower. Just hit me in the face for 20 minutes, man. Thinking, why am I here? It's dark, man. Dark times.
Oh,
Dark
man.
times.
Yeah, and then, like, Mickey Rourke, none of them had the energy. Like, this movie needs that energy.
Yes. Martin Brest did not have the budget of Tony Scott.
Yeah.
But all the money is up there on that screen. Again, not quote unquote quick cuts, but no shot is too long, no shot is too short. You know exactly what goes on. The exposition, again, it's normal in the space of conversation. And he makes Ronnie Cox into a nice dude. And Axel Foley, a couple of times he plays the race card there, but you roll for Axel. You're never against Axel Foley in this movie, man. Axel Foley's absolutely breaking and entering. You understand how many crimes he commits as a police officer?
He robs a house in the second one. He stays at a house illegally in Holtz Construction.
Not only that, he cost those people their jobs, dude.
Yeah, they lost money.
Not for nothing.
I wrote a note. He's being a butt.
Yeah. The first movie, he's a lovable scamp. The second one, he's ruining people's lives with the shtick now. And there's a lot of guys who fix that house. Okay.
There's a lot of scaffolding for that job, Norbert.
Yeah. All right, Angles. Stop what you're doing. If these people, they're rich, they want to live in a roundhouse, what the hell have you got to say about that? All right? You build them a roundhouse. That was a lot. Okay? Yeah. He cost people their livelihoods. Okay?
Oh, that's a great pickup. I didn't even.
But you know what? Not to cut you off. You know what they do in that movie, right? Make up for it. He gets that $200 from Gilbert Gottfried for the bribe, and then he makes sure to give it to the mayor at the end of the movie, and gets it donated to a charity in Gilbert Gottfried's character's name. So they try to make him a good guy, because absolutely they got to cover up the fact that he cost at least 20 men their jobs.
Yeah, the blue collar guys too.
That's right. Yeah, blue collar dudes.
A lot of scaffolding.
There's no way that those people come back from their week-long vacation in Hawaii and just say, oh, you were tricked, and we understand. Continue the work. There's no way. That guy comes out of the car, hey, who's that black guy? That guy's not a friendly dude. Okay.
Children are not being fed because of Axel Foley.
Not at all. Axel, he takes a hit. So that's one real big time for me why Part 2 cannot be as good as Part 1. Because Part 1, Axel, he does his dirt. He breaks into a couple of houses or whatever. He takes advantage of the rich all the time. He's always punching up. He punched down hard Part 2, man.
I mean, when he goes into the club, the only way to get in, he knows if he gets in, he gets thrown on his head.
Right.
Like it's so he gets in there using that story. He uses. You know what I kind of like about him in the first one too? The waiters like him. Damon Wayans likes him.
They get it.
The strippers like him.
He's one of them. He's one of them, and he treats them like human beings, man. He's a brown man surrounded by there are no other black people on screen.
I love when the first two cops arrest him and they're just like blonde bombers.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is cleaner than my apartment.
Yes, and they literally wait a minute, man. They threw me out of the window. What am I being arrested for? He's like, hey, that's my second favorite line.
Yeah.
After he gets thrown out the window, he's, hey, like what the hell is going on? Because you expect them to throw him out. You did not expect them to put him through a plate glass window and then get him arrested for disturbing the peace.
This is the cleanest car I've ever been in.
Yeah, totally. And you do get a lot of that, rich poor divide. He walks through the Beverly Hills police station. Dude, it looks like something out of Doctor Strangelove or the Whopper home base from War Games. Their police station.
Well, you know why? Because Martin Brest got fired from War Games.
Ah.
Did you know that? And he's like, I wanted to use those sets on something.
There it is.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's brilliant, son. Because it struck me as that's War Games.
Yeah, Brest got fired. Yeah, Brest got fired from War Games. And he's like, well, I had this set, so I wanted to just build it.
There it is. Exclusive. Only on the MFF podcast, folks. Yeah.
Do you want to hear something random, too?
Me.
This is completely, this doesn't go for it, but on the commentary, he's like, oh, I wanted to get these 2 cops. And then later on, they had 2 more blonde cops. He's like, well, we keep doing this. So they put wigs on a wig on one of the cops. So when he's being taken out of the restaurant, one of the guys has a brown wig on to hide his blonde hair. But when I first moved to Atlanta, I was taking any job I could. And I got a really good job as a featured extra as a cop, as a bailiff.
Nice. Makes sense.
But when I showed up to be this cop, the casting agent looked at me and went, nah, he's too LA. And because I guess it was in a country, like it was like in a country club, like it was in a country setting, like not in, obviously not LA. So I still got my featured pay, but they shoved me in the back and I had to like stand out of camera. Like whenever the doors open, you could see me. I never even watched the episode. But I was like, well, I guess I'm making money, so this is cool.
You always got to have a brown wig in your pocket, brother, just in case.
Yeah.
You should learn that.
But I just thought that was funny. It's too LA. So when I heard him talking about like when I saw these LA cops, I'm like, oh well. Okay, all right. I guess that makes sense.
So here's the thing about Axel Foley, right? The thing that people dig about this movie is that he uses his lies to get into places, Yeah. He uses his lies, and the fact that he's a cop. The fact that he's a cop, it gives him the confidence to just basically bullshit his way into places, which is also why, not for nothing, those Fletch movies were successful.
Oh, man. He was just so good at BSing and being a Laker.
Right, exactly. Because Fletch is absolutely Beverly Hills Cop, except with a journalist, right? So now, here's the thing. Have you ever just completely bluffed your way into a situation the way that Axel Foley did, just off of sheer confidence and the ability to lie? Have you ever done something like that?
No, I'm not good at that.
That's the thing.
I'm just really earnest with people and honest. I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to do this, and if you don't mind, and they're like, no. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. Like that's, I try to be earnest. I'm not a good, you know me, man. I'm not a BSer. Like I don't think,
right.
I'd be terrible at BSing people.
Confidence, brother. That and confidence. This is why this movie hits such a chord with people to this day. Again, he is a cop, right? And we've seen cops do crazy shit in real life. He could absolutely just blast his way across Beverly Hills and eventually get away with it. And usually the movie does end in 15 minutes of gun battle, to be honest with you. All of the Beverly Hills Cop. But instead, he's using his wit, he's outsmarting people, and he's just bluffing, So it makes him extremely relatable that he's just using his mouth to get by people, man. That's what it is. He's just creating capers, man. And then he's in Detroit just making operations up, He's just making shit up. We've learned from The Wire that cops are on a rotation and cases come to them. They wait to get a case. Axel Foley is just taking the cigarette truck from a case that was closed and just deciding, I'm going to bust people for buying illegal cigarettes because I want to, because I'm Axel Foley. And I know that that's the crime on the streets because I used to break into people's houses and cars. Oh, man. He's so relatable.
So relatable.
He's so relatable.
And just there's no like swagger to him either, which I like. There's
it's when you say there's no swag, he absolutely has swag, but it's not a super arrogance. It's not the arrogance. The arrogance is a put on when these white people come up to him like, what are you doing here, black guy? And he's just like, no, actually, I'm the customs inspector, and you're all going to listen to me because if you don't, you got a Porsche outside, and I'm going to get the IRS to crawl up in your ass, and I've seen that happen. And boom.
I don't drive a Porsche.
Yeah, what you call? Hurry up.